morning. How's everyone this first Sunday of the month? You can turn your cameras on, say hello, wave to our beautiful community if you'd like to. So good to see everyone. It's Women's Month, so we sing this to celebrate all women. Oh, Mother, flowing through our heart, we give thanks for the breath of the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the love of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of our womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. One more time, oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, blessed be. Yeah. Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, Mother God, blessed be. Yeah. Blessed be, blessed, blessed, blessed be. Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Mother God, blessed be. I'd like to introduce Maureen French.
Thank you, Omega and Kev Choice for your soulful warm-up this morning. I feel very warm and ready to go today. So welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. I'm your host, Maureen French, and I'm also one of your newest board members. So thank you, and I look forward to serving the community in that capacity. Welcome to those of you joining via Zoom today, and welcome to those of you who are joining for the very first time. If you're interested in connecting with the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, which I think you're going to just feel the need to, you're going to want to contact Constance Chapman, our administrative coordinator. And her email is constance@oaklandcsl.org. In order to maintain a sacred space today, please make sure that your Zoom microphone and video are turned off. While Omega and Kevin were singing, I couldn't help but imagine being in the sanctuary and sitting there. And this morning in particular, you know how when you sit in the sanctuary and you see Omega and Kev up there, and you see the light coming through our beautiful stained glass window? Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. And I remember, being a little chilled. Our sanctuary gets a little chilly, but you see the warmth of the sun coming through, and it's just so wonderful going out into the courtyard. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because I think we're going to be back in the sanctuary soon, hopefully, right? We'll see. So now, before we go into anything further, let's talk about our children, our future. Let's go ahead and take a minute to bless them. You can read aloud with me. We honor all our youth and children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. You are Spirit's gift to us. Thank you for being in our lives. And so it is. I have some announcements for you this morning. And one of them is to come and join practitioner Teresa Gardner this Wednesday, speaking to our monthly theme, which is open to possibilities. And I don't know about you, but with this vaccine coming and the world starting to open up a little bit more, I am definitely open up to more possibilities. So I look forward to hearing Teresa talk about this. Meditation starts at 6:30 and service starts at 7 on Wednesday night. After service today at 12:30, the Compassionate Attention to Loss group will be meeting and talking about navigating grief and loss, finding your spiritual compass. Zoom link is on the events page, so make sure you go there. Also today, this afternoon, the Women's Spiritual Transformation Group will be meeting. The information is also on the events page of the Open Center for Spiritual Living website. Are you looking for something to expand your mind? I know you are. Take this new class. It's Meditation is More Than You Think. It starts March 23rd for 5 weeks. This class will introduce you to several meditation practices. Come and find out which one speaks to your heart. Early registration starts next Wednesday. And the last announcement for today is the daily noontime devotional with Dr. Dan that was happening every day at noon during Black History Month is going to continue because it's been so impactful to the folks that have been participating. You can stop by via Zoom daily at noon for a half hour of spiritual enrichment. Join us for a midday growth spurt. Zoom information is on the events page. And of course, for all news, anything going on in Oakland Center, you're going to find it at oaklandcsl.org. And also the Village News that Constance puts together every week. Now for one of the greatest parts of the service, let's go ahead and read our vision and mission statement. Go ahead and read it with me. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. And so it is. Now I would like to pass over the Zoom mic to extraordinaire practitioner Judith Roberts. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. I'm Judith Roberts. I'm a licensed practitioner here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and it's my honor to serve as your pulpit assistant today. I'm going to begin with 2 readings. And the first one is, you might want to close your eyes and take these into your heart. The first reading is from Ernest Holmes, and it is not the one that's on the screen. I'm going to read a different one. And it is this one. Through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience. And the second reading is from Emma Curtis Hopkins. If God is your world, what do you have to fear? So taking those in, I invite you to take a deep breath with me as I move into prayer. Just knowing that this enormous spirit that we call God, this infinite mind, the divine mind, is right here and right now. It is everywhere. It is within and without. It is the manifest creation and it is the void. It is the spring and it is the fall. It is the summer and it is the winter. It is within each one of us, always. It is love. It is the deep stillness within, from which all is revealed when we listen. It is love. It is joy. It is deep kindness and deep compassion. It is safety. And it is infinite love and great power, the power that can do anything and everything. There is nothing it cannot do. And so as we contemplate this divine mind, this divine spirit, I know that this service is unfolding from spirit. That as our Reverend Sally Bartholomew delivers her message, she is guided by spirit. She is informed by Spirit. She is guided by the One. And that One reaches out into the hearts of everyone who is attending this service near and far. Everyone who is here in the Bay Area and everyone who may be attending from any place else in the world or any place else in the country. That this message is meant for each one of us and speaks to us deeply and directly, uplifts us, inspires us, and feeds us, nourishes us exactly the way that we need to be nourished this day and at this time. And so I know that every aspect of this service unfolds beautifully in divine right timing, in divine order. And so I give thanks for this and the more, and invite you to say with me, and so it is. Amen. That music really touched me earlier. I want to thank Kevin Omega for that beautiful music. Blessed be. And so now I would like to turn the service back to Kev and Omega, and they will share more of their music with us. Thank you.
These are the gifts of love, goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Compassion, are you ready? Forgiveness, I am ready. Oh, laughter, I am ready. I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Passion, I am ready. success. I am ready. Abundance. I am so ready. Yeah, yeah. I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess. I am ready to receive all the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess, yeah. Gifts of the goddess. Gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah. I am so ready. Yeah, yeah. Right now, right here. I am ready to receive. Are you ready to receive? Say, are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to receive? I'd like to introduce Reverend Sally Bartholomew.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Omega Ray and Kev Choice, are you ready to receive? Answer with me here, folks. Yes, the answer is yes. Thank you so much. And good morning, Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. As Omega said, I am Reverend Sally Bartholomew. I am a staff minister and a member of the ecclesiastical leadership team here at the Oakland Center. And on behalf of Reverend Jeff and the ecclesiastical team, I am honored today to present to you our new members who recently completed the membership training and had their applications for membership approved by the Board of Trustees here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. It's a great morning for us to be welcoming these beloveds. So as we go through this ceremony, I'll announce the new members' names, and our fabulous tech team, you know, those guys we love behind the scenes, they will be adding a spotlight to each member so that the community may get to see our new members and welcome them. Now, let's move into this time of sacred welcoming together. In claiming membership in the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, you, all our new members, are deliberately making yourself an integral part of this community. There is not the center and its members. There is the center, as we affectionately call it, our village, as its members. The body of the center is composed of individuals who are its hands and its feet, its head and its heart. So as individuals, you will be bringing your unique expression of the presence of Spirit into our community. And through each other, we experience the presence of God in a greater and more glorious way. We are one. So I now turn it over to Robert Leeds, the president of our Board of Trustees, who has some words of welcome and wisdom to share. Robert?
Good morning. As president of the Board of Trustees, it is my honor, on behalf of the current members of our center, to welcome you into membership. You are unifying with each other, with the members of this center, and with members of centers for spiritual living throughout the world in a warm, loving fellowship of spirit. Through your practice of science of mind principles, you make a difference in your life and in your community. You help us uphold the commitment of the center, which is to provide an atmosphere in which we know that the natural home of God is within the heart of every person, the means to experience this presence within and our oneness with each other, and a place to express this truth about ourselves, that we are whole, complete, and perfect just as we are.
Mm-hmm.
I invite you to fully embrace membership, the center, and everything membership implies for you. And I want to add that becoming a member now is particularly auspicious because you are choosing to make this commitment during a time of great uncertainty and change in the world. So you are choosing love and growth and life, and that benefits all of creation. So thank you. You are blessed and a blessing. Back to you, Sally.
Thank you, Robert. So as we go through the rest of this ceremony, I invite all who are already members to search their own hearts and recommit to the charge of membership. So I will be reading the names of our new members in alphabetical order. Let's begin with Sage Ardis, Sabrina Bolus, Krista Kotz, Bob Reed, Nikki Royce, Reverend Catherine Sachs, and Tanya Stum. Our bylaws define members as loyal, active, and supporting. And therefore, I ask you, and you can unmute your microphone if you'd like, because I ask you, will you love this center and support it with your time, your talent, and your treasure and your prayers? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the other members of this center, I formally receive each of you into membership in the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome, new members. Please, everyone, let's give them some love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad you're here. If you know how to use your reaction buttons, you can do that too. There's hearts, there's clapping. We are so glad to have you in our community. Thank you. What a blessing. We are so blessed at this spiritual community. Thank you so much. So I will continue on with the talk today. And what I'd like to let you know is March is Women's History Month. And this month we'll be exploring the monthly theme of open to possibilities. And having new members come in right now, we are open to possibilities. We'll be exploring this topic using quotes in our weekly readings from some influential women of New Thought. And this week, the topic is living in the question, a high idea. Now, I've said from this pulpit before that I just love questions. It's one of the reasons I was drawn to religious science, the fact that we ask questions. That's what we do here. And one of the spiritual practices that I've been introduced to here at Science of Mind and through religious science is the practice of visioning, opening up to the impress of spirit through direct questions used in the practice of visioning. Well, this allows us to tap into a realm of possibilities much greater than we can even begin to imagine for ourselves. And as we heard from Ernest this morning, it's through spiritual discernment that we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact. It's a power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience. So one way that we connect with this power that Ernest is speaking about is by asking questions. Questions like, what is spirit's highest idea of itself as me and my life? As I ask myself questions, I do so with the full knowledge that my brain has a habit. It's a natural habit. We all have it. It has a habit of filling in the blanks, right? What gets filled into those blanks comes from my intentions, my past, and my subconscious beliefs. So it's really important for me, for us, to pay attention to what I am speaking about. What am I asking myself? And under what circumstances am I asking those particular questions? So, Peter, I think I'm ready for the next slide because some reflective questions that came up to me in this process of preparing for the talk. One is, why is the moon so bright? We've got this lovely slide. Have you ever noticed how bright the moon can get? Well, if you've ever wondered what makes it shine so brightly, I'm going to help inform you a little bit about that. This is Women's History Month, and the moon is often associated with women, so it seemed like a natural fit. The answers to this question, why is the moon so bright? What makes it so bright? I pulled from the West Texas A&M University website, and they have a page that's called Science Questions with Surprising Answers. So if we move on to the second slide there, what we find out is that it's not just some special mineral or rock substance that allows the moon to shine so brightly. Its perceived brightness depends on three things: the moon's albedo, I'll explain a little bit about that later, the total amount of light that is hitting its surface in the first place, and the distance between the moon and our own eyes. So this relative albedo, it's a new scientific term for me, and being curious and loving questions like I do, I like finding out new information. So this albedo is the average amount of light scattered by the body, in this case the moon, in any direction relative to the total amount of light that's present in the sky, in this case the night sky. So surprisingly, when you look at that bright, brilliant moon, you see that it really has a relatively low albedo of only 12%. Wow, that's kind of strange, but that's compared to the Earth with 31% and Venus, which has a 75% out of 100 relative albedo. So the amount of sunlight incident on the moon that gets reflected also depends on the materials that are in the atmosphere, on its surface, as well as the surface roughness. Snow, rough ice, and clouds, they're all highly reflective. And most types of rock, which is what's on the moon, aren't. So a planet that's covered with clouds and ice, such as the Earth, or even Venus with the clouds, they're generally brighter than a rocky moon or planet that has no atmosphere. So one more thing that I learned is that there's basically two types of reflected light: diffuse, D-I-F-F-U-S-E, and specular. Peter, thank you for those slides. Specular reflectivity is like what you get off a mirrored surface. It measures how much of the incoming light gets reflected by the object in the direction of the light given the mirror angle. And then in contrast, diffuse reflectivity measures how much light gets reflected in all directions. You know, that's a pretty inclusive idea, this light being reflected in all directions, right? A mirror, it's a flat, smooth surface, has high specular reflectivity and low diffuse reflectivity. And in contrast, sand has low specular reflectivity and high diffuse reflectivity. Okay, you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's going too scientific on me here. There is a point to this. We experience diffuse reflectivity as a somewhat uniform brightness and color that exists on the surface of the moon. And it's roughly the same no matter what angle we're at relative to the moon. All right, you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with religious science and our relationship with spirit? Well, I'd like you to consider that specular and diffuse reflectivity can be analogous to two spiritual practices: visualization and visioning. Both practices are effective ways to move us closer in our walk with spirit. However, you can visualize only that which you already know. It's like you are directing the beam of reflected light according to a particular mirror angle. Now, with visioning, that's a receptive state wherein you catch an idea for your life outside of your current awareness and understanding of yourself. Visioning is like diffuse reflectivity in that the reflected light bounces in all directions. Think about being at the beach. You're getting sunshine from above, yes, but all that light is also being reflected up by every single bit of sand on the beach. And that diffuse reflectivity opens us to possibilities for viewing things that we might not otherwise see or observe. So, living in the question invites us to listen to and from a different place. All receptors on high alert. Beyond this egoic mind that wants to control the direction of that which is seeking to express in and through us. So this raises a question. Are you asking the universe for what you want, or are you open to receive the fullness of life that you are? Set free your need to control the angle of the mirror of life and let loose within you infinite possibilities. Now, Emma Curtis Hopkins, one of our influential women of New Thought. In her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, she asks us the question, is there a conviction of good belonging to you now in your own mind? And she goes on to challenge us with that notion that the instant we acknowledge that there is good for us, which we ought to have, the next thought that arises in our minds is that we do not have the good that belongs to us. Just let that settle for a minute. Emma calls this the conviction of absence of our good. And she goes on to tell us that we are talking about this all the time. She says that our conviction of presence, the presence of our good, we hardly ever speak of. And she says it seems that this silence of our mind with respect to the presence of our good, well, this is accountable for all the appearances of what is not good. Breathe that in. Emma is encouraging us to speak of our good, to raise and praise our good, and let go of the conviction of the absence of our good. So if you attended the annual meeting last Friday night, you were witness to the power and the beauty of speaking about raising and praising our good. It's powerful. It's here for us to use. So some questions that open us to something new. Questions are the thing that open us to something new. And inviting curiosity as a way of being, well, that's how we live into the question. What is Spirit's highest idea of itself as my life? This question breaks us away from what we think we know and desire, and it invites us to something greater within that can and does guide us. Are you willing, like our new members, to be surprised by what you discover about yourself along the way? Everything is for our learning and our growth. Are you open? Are you willing to be more interested in your spiritual growth than advocating for your limitations? We learn through curiosity, remaining open to experience a shift of perspective, a new awareness, a heightened experience of life. Are you willing to learn? Ask a higher question. Live in a state of curiosity. Remain open to possibilities, to experience a life beyond your wildest imaginations that works in alignment with the highest good for all. So you might be wondering, what are some good questions that you can ask yourself on a regular basis? Well, there's 4 that come from the process of visioning. The first one is, what is God's highest idea of itself as me and my life? The second question, what must I become to live this highest idea? The third question, what must I release or let go of that no longer serves this highest idea? And the fourth question, what gifts and talents do I already possess that I can use in service to this vision? As you work with and allow these questions to live within you, as we did with the visioning class and we did last Wednesday when I did the service, I invite you to be open to the myriad ways that the universe, that power for good, reveals the answers. It fills in the blanks for you within you. So I'd like to give you one more question to keep in your hip pocket that you can pull out anytime you're desiring something better. Maybe you're stuck in that world of limitations and, oh my God, why me, blah, 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 blah. Here's a better question. Remember, life always responds to our questions by affirmatively filling in the blanks. The question is, how does it get even better than this? And so it is. Thank you, my beloveds. So now I would like to take us into a time of prayer. I'll bring up our community prayers. So I invite you to go within, close your eyes, open your heart space. And as I do so, I reflect on the love, the peace, the joy, the creativity, the order and openness, the love that is the one light, the one life, the one power, the one presence. That God that is my life, as Emma Curtis says. God is my world. God is my good right here and right now. And I know that I am an expression of it, that I am reflecting all that it is. I am the specular, I am the diffuse, I am it expressing itself. And as this is true for me, I know this is true for each and every beloved on this call, for our brand new members of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, for each and every one of us. And I am so grateful to know this, to feel this, to live this, to be in the question of how does it get even better than this? And so I continue speaking my word for our prayers for our community, including Prescott Circus, who's our nonprofit partner for this month, whose mission is to empower and engage youth as they develop confidence, teamwork, perseverance, artistic talent, and dedication to working for success through training and unique curriculum in a safe environment. And so I bless and give deep gratitude for our planet, Mother Earth, her beauty, her resilience, and our increasingly mindful stewardship of her. I bless our youth and the youth of the world, knowing that they are guided by loving minds and hearts within themselves, within their parents of spirit. I bless all those in service to creating a world that works for everyone. And I speak a word of love and comfort and healing for all those impacted by challenges of whatever form, including our beloved Reverend Jeff, Anthony and Katie Prado, Dottie Baker, Dana Hanna, Mary Prospersy, Greg and Bobby, Leela Wallace, Brianna Dawson, and all those impacted by any challenges, including COVID. And I invite you to turn within your own heart and speak your name and the name of the beloved who's requesting prayer through your heart this morning. as we allow a moment or two for those names to be spoken, I simply give thanks for this community. I give thanks for the love, for the joy, for the unity that is the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Deeply grateful. I release my word. I allow it to be, knowing it does not return void, for it's already done in spirit. And if you are in agreement with me this morning, I invite you to say, and so it is. Thank you. And so now we move into our time of conscious giving. This is our opportunity to feed our treasure into this community. And so, Peter, I believe we have an affirmation that everyone can say with us. So as you consider the gift that you're giving this community, whether it's time, talent, and or treasure, please say this with me. This gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and it blesses creation. And so it is. And during this time of Zoom services, you know where to go. We go to the website, www.oaklandcsl.org. And right there on the front page, there's a donate button that you can click to give your gift. Or if you prefer, you can go and text 510-327-3431 and give your gift through text. So thank you, everyone. We are grateful for your gift. And so now I'd like to introduce our nonprofit person for this month. The person who's going to speak about the nonprofit, and that is David Hunt. I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Reverend Sally. Good morning, everybody. Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you very much for having me. My name is David Hunt, and I'm the Executive and Artistic Director for Prescott Circus. I want to just thank you all for choosing us to be a nonprofit partner. And also I want to give a shout out and gratitude to CJ Medina for being our bridge for our community and for your all's, because I know she does amazing work wherever she goes. I want to say a couple words. I got a video to show, and I have a couple closing words afterwards. So quickly, Prescott Circus Theater is a youth development and performing arts program for Oakland youth. And we started in West Oakland at Prescott School. That's our namesake, at Prescott Elementary School in West Oakland. And was started by a school teacher there. And over the past 36 years, we've since grown. And we serve over 200 children a year through free programs. And right now we're working with 8 public schools in Oakland. And I'm a big believer in not explaining things, but just show. And we are a circus, so we like to do that. So I'd like for this video to kind of just speak for itself. It does begin with our founder introducing an assembly. And the footage that you see spans our 36 years, including work that has been done as recent as this past October. And you can tell because you see the children actually wearing masks and being physically distanced. So take it away, please.
We're ready for the circus, so everybody say, here comes the circus! We love the circus! Oakland's number 1! Because we know how to have fun. And now say, on with the show! We're ready for the circus.
So I started this past several weeks. I've had the opportunity to be working with a small group of 7, 8, 9-year-olds, teaching them how to ride unicycle at a Oakland Unified Learning Hub. It's a small hub of children who need some extra support. So it's an in-person program. And this past Thursday, this is about the 3rd or 4th week we've been doing unicycle. They are getting really frustrated, right? At first it's novel, and then it gets really hard. And so we took a break and we went back to it, and for about 10 more minutes before we wrapped up the class. And we always end with a circle, with a reflection circle. And I asked the children, like, what did you do to get over your frustration? How are you able to do that after it got so hard? Some of you wanted to throw the unicycles, like you were so mad at the unicycle. What did you do? How were you able to get back? And one student said, he said, oh, when I got frustrated, I learned that I had to move my body from being tilted to straight up and down and keep on going. And a lot of the students did this, which means they agreed. It's our way of affirming. And that just spoke to the heart of our work, is that we are, by doing all these different skills with the children and creating a really supportive learning atmosphere for them, they're learning how to embody that experience of being like, oh, I'm falling. Wait, I can actually correct myself, and developing the internal and the external physical embodied skills to actually be able to do that. That's lifelong. And so I invite you all to learn more if you're interested. On the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's website, about 3/4 down on the left side, you'll see a student in a sparkly vest with a stilt walker. Right beneath that's a link. You can visit our website to learn more. And we're certainly on Facebook and those kinds of things. So I think seeing the children, and I really appreciate opening with the blessing of the kids. That was amazing to see a community of adults that start their mindful day with that. So thank you. And thank you for having us.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I think after that video, more than one of us is going to want to go run off and join the circus. I know I want to. So that looked like so much fun.
If you want to learn how to juggle, CJ and I could do a workshop for y'all. We'll do a breakout room sometime.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. I will turn the service back over to our practitioner, Judith Roberts. Thank you.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Sally, Reverend Sally. Wow, that video was wonderful and new to me, and probably new to many of us. What a wonderful thing to be doing. It just lightened my heart. So thank you for that. I would like to thank everybody who's been involved in the service today in any way. Our musicians, Omega Ray and Kev Choice, for your wonderful, heartfelt, inspiring music. For our technical people in the background, for our PowerPoints people, Peter, and everybody. You know who you are. It's just been a lovely service and a very enriching service. So I want to thank all of you for your participation. And I want to also say that Elena Hutchinson will be hosting the prayer room after service today. And if you have something on your heart, if you would like to receive prayer, stay on after we close. Sorry, I have something in my eye that's bothering me. My eye is watering, I think. Anyway, stay online and you can request prayer and Elena will set it up for you to receive a prayer. Also, practitioners are offering 30-minute free practitioner sessions. If you would like one of those, please go to our website and the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living website, and you'll be able to see where you can find the practitioners who are offering 30-minute sessions. And let's read our closing affirmation. I think we have a PowerPoint for this. We can read it together. My life is the embodiment of Spirit's highest idea of itself as me. And so now, thank you. I'd like to turn it back over to Kev and Omega. Thank you.
Give thanks. Love it. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say